Good day to you peeps, Lee's here again, and today I'm coming to you with something of a very impromptu, bits between the bits extra, because we've had a few changes of plan here in the Sound Lab this week. So as ever, enough from me, and moving swiftly on. Yeah, it's been a couple of weeks since I've been on. You know, life takes turns and it's been a crazy couple of weeks. So it's good to be back amongst us all again. I want to say a very special thanks to my very latest subscribers. It's very much appreciated, and thank you for deciding to join this community and become part of this community. As I always say, whether you're building them, whether you're watching the videos or just getting pure entertainment from mine and other great luthiers videos, then you're part of the community. Anyone watching. So anyway, I do sense myself starting to waffle a little bit. So, straight in. Okay, last time we were struggling with the bendy upright bass build. If you remember, that was this one. As you can see, the top piece has been removed. Yeah, which is floating around somewhere. And as usual, here it is. Which was attached to here with a hinge. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to say I did play around with that one quite a bit, but that one's a fail, I'm afraid. Great fun, isn't they? That one's a fail. So I decided we'd go back to the drawing board on this one. Also, the front for this was very flaky. We used this very flaky piece of plywood. And I remember dressing the holes in that to make the sound holes. But I did have rather a neat little discovery this week, something I'd forgotten about, which is this very old artist's palette, which I've had for about 10 years, and as you can see, I've mixed a lot of paint on there. And I bought this for a dime on the flea market, probably as many years ago, probably about 10 years ago. And I found it in a box, and I thought, 1 second, I wonder if this will be of any use. So, having made a quick calculation, this does sort of fit just about in the front of our wonderful crate. I'll just show you there. I'll get my hands out of the way. But it does fit there rather nicely, and I thought if I put some supports, we could have that as quite an arty sort of stand-up bass. What do you reckon? Obviously, I've intended to keep using this so it's a little shorter. So it's probably going to be quite a short scale hobo bass. But I thought we should crack on with it anyway. Those of us that have been around for a while will remember the rather tacky beer crate that I did buy from Home Bargains here in the UK. Yes, the very imaginative font on the side. You can see I've blanked it on there. It's just aesthetically it upsets me, right? This is Liesl, as we know. And I tried everything to try and sand this, and whatever they've stained it with, pitch by the looks of it, is absolutely horrible. I didn't really want to breathe it in, so I've decided I'm going to paint this one instead. I have got a small pot of kind of rusty red paint, which I think will look quite nice with this one. And if we do actually get it together with the art palette on the front, I think we might have something looking quite nice. And as we can see, we've got a ready-made sound hole. The best bit, I think, is this revolting bottle opener that came with it. I think that's going to make a fantastic bridge. Now, as you know, the original suggestion for this instrument inadvertently came from Bob at Not the Chair Circle, And he did kindly, because I misunderstood his plans really, he actually hand drafted me some plans for how he remembers these things were built, and it is quite different, but I will demonstrate towards it. I will demonstrate it to you anyway, Pete. Brain fog. It's a curse, mate. Anyway, so I think the traditional ones were hinged from this bit on the edge here, so you can bend it back and forth that way, and the string from the instrument passed through the centre of the box. Now, I won't talk too much about that, because again, those of you who are familiar with the channel, I think Professor Liesel from the University of Life has dedicated herself to doing special sensational sound experiments, and I don't want to steal her thunder. We know she's a little bit twitchy and temperamental sometimes, so I won't talk about that now. I'll let her introduce that to you probably in the next couple of days. So there we go, another sensational sound experiments is on the way. But I thought I would do this very brief, bits between the bits extra, because so many things have changed really, and I thought I'll give you a little heads up and you can see what we've got to look forward to and the fun and mayhem that we're going to have in the coming days. Okay, squashed on the floor of the sound lab, as you can see. Yes, so when another bass goes bad, other than this one behind me, which was tricky, as you remember if you've seen the older videos, and I had a lot of success with my bass instruments really, but we plug on, that's it, onwards and upwards, and I'm sure we can come up with something anyway. Moving swiftly on. Packo, you will remember, and here he is. Was our latest 3-stringer build. Now as you can see, he's still got a temporary nut right at the top of the neck, and I thought that's no good, so I need to embed that into the actual fingerboard. I'm going to do a video on that because I think it'd be very useful in discussing the action on them basically. I mean, he has got a nice low action. As you can see, it's a bit off. I think really like a millimetre or two from the surface is probably going to be best for this one. I do intend to play him as a fretless and not just slide. It'll be playable by fingers. So then I'll have to put my money where my mouth is and pretend to be a musician, right? I'm joking, of course, but you do get the drift. So yeah, there'll be more on Packo very soon. I'm hoping to get him set up. I left it a while because I've had so many other things on and I didn't want to rush this one. But I am quite pleased with the overall build on this. So yeah, again, more on that later really. And last but by no means least, stalling for time. Actually, there's one surprise, but as we discussed earlier, should I say, we have a deluxe 3-string short scale sunny guitar build, which is this one. I'm actually going to build supports in there where those gaps are, if you can see, which will ensure that the neck stays absolutely put. So this is like a bit of a proper build, you know, go to town a little bit. And I'm really pleased with this one. I won't say too much about this one at the moment. We do have this fingerboard that's now been sitting quite a while because you do want these homemade stains. If you've not seen the videos, do watch them. Very budget way of staining the wood in a very environmentally friendly way. And if you've got autoimmune disease like I have, it's not setting you off with reactions every 2 seconds. I digress. Which we've got on the front there. So there'll be more on this little one, as I intend to get stuck in with this one. There's a nice little surprise with this one. It's going to be a little bit fancy. And it's really nice. My father Cigar Box, one of my favourite boxes to use. I've never seen one this colour before, so to me it's quite unique. And I've been doing little bits on this You can see more how the neck's constructed on here. This one's quite high because that's going to fit in the bottom. There will be a 3 buzzer piezo pickup in this one. But I decided to do a little bit more shaping on the neck, and you can see where that beautiful bit of grain is there. Yeah, that's all done by hand. I've got a rotary tool, but I did that all with just round files. Yeah, and did a lot by hand. And all of this has been cut with a Japanese pull saw. I'm quite new to using a pull saw. It works in the opposite way to kind of a more Western standard saw, which cuts more on the pushing action, whereas the Japanese one cuts more on the pulling action. But I've been really getting into using it, and it's got like a knife handle rather than a blunt handle. So it's a different way of working, but this guitar has been totally made using the Japanese pull saw, which I treated myself to for my birthday actually. I thought I'm going to buy this for me. Yeah, I mean they're not overly expensive, they're kind of moderate price, but I tell you what, they're worth having, because since I've had mine, I've done loads with it, and I don't know, I'm just a bit of a convert to them really. So I will discuss more on those, and the use of tools actually, chisels and all that sort of thing, probably in an up and coming video fairly soon, once we get through all the other bits and pieces, as you know. Right? So there's that one there. Yeah, absolutely. Casting our minds right back, I think it was the end of December last year, we did procure a haul of very nice boxes. And I know that one that generated quite a lot of interest was this very unusual shaped cigar box. Hemingway, work of art, how appropriate. Yeah, Arturo Ferrante, please do forgive the pronunciation. Cigar box. Now, having looked at this many ways, etc., I thought actually this would probably make quite a nice lap instrument, because I think being that shape, it would sort of rest nicely. Difficult to see, but like nicely on the lap. Could have the neck coming out, and I just fancy having a go with that. I'll probably do it with diatonic fretting, so like a dulcimer, your basic do, re, mi frets. I've bought some fret wire. As you know, I'm kind of new to fitting frets, but I did manage to get a very nice small little metal mitre cutter or mitre block. If you don't know what one of those is, I'll show you next time, because it's buried in the bottom of my toolbox. But that means we can cut very shallow and very straight lines to fit the frets. My only real attempt is Gemma. Many of you will be familiar with her. There she is. She makes that lovely medieval sound. Nice. So yeah, basically same fret pattern. I think it might go nice on this little lap instrument. But I did discuss, I think in the last video or a recent video, about the Resonator with the vintage UK motorcycle number plate. Guitar build. It's underway. I haven't done much yet, but again, it's going to have a diatonic fretting, same as Gemma. So basically, it'll be similar as Gemma, very similar to her, only I am going to fit a piezo to this one. And Gemma's got a piezo, but again, if you've seen the older videos, it failed. I think it's probably become detached, but there's no way I'm pulling this one apart. It's too delicate, so she can just stay as an acoustic. And I'm quite happy with that. It's the first thing like this I ever built actually, and the only one so far. So I'm looking forward to doing the Resonator instrument. I think that'll be a lot of fun. Let's hope so anyway. And it does look like an old Vauxhall Victor. I've got my own sense of humour, as you know. I'm sorry, peeps. I will not attempt to make a joke again. That's the second time now, isn't it? Crickets chirping. Okay. Well, so there we go, peeps. A very brief, very impromptu bits between the bits extra. I thought it was time. I did a little video, showed my face, and kind of discussed upcoming events and a change in events. As I say, I show you the pitfalls. Basically, as I tried this one, it just, a bit like me really, it kept becoming unhinged. I digress. And it kept sort of like going sideways, so that wasn't really a very good idea. Obviously, I totally misinterpreted the instructions, but now I've got a much better idea. But I'm still going to make an upright base with this because I want to. And I think it'll still be a lot of fun. So yeah, sorry it took some time, but like I say, life events took a turn and had me very busy for the last 2 or 3 weeks. But hopefully now we will have a bit of time to settle down to these crazy, wacky instruments and see how we can entertain ourselves further. So, as ever, if you've made it to the end, thank you ever so much. To all my wonderful subscribers and my very latest subscribers, I'm very much obliged. As I always say, it's you that makes this channel possible. You know, all the inspiration for these instruments, for this channel, everything, all comes from you, all comes from us as a community. And yeah, you know, wow, some wonderful ideas. 1 or 2 other ideas on the way. I won't speak too much about those right now, but I think they may well be along the lines of unusual and ancient instruments, because I've kind of been getting into this notion lately. So more on that later. So, peeps, wherever you are, do stay safe. Whatever you're doing, do stay blessed. And whatever life brings, keep building. Okay then, peeps. Bye for now then. Bye.